To this episode. Today, we're diving into a real-life story that starts with a fraud complaint, but takes an unexpected turn involving law enforcement and privacy concerns.
Yeah, it's about Stephen Faircloth from Macon, Georgia, who reported being defrauded out of just under $380. But instead of just getting help, he found himself subjected to a criminal database check without any reason.
It's a pretty surprising situation. So Stephen lent money to a woman named Malibu Duffey. She told him her car broke down in Tennessee and asked for a loan, promising to pay him back within a week.
But here's the twist. Stephen later found out Malibu was actually back in Macon when she asked for the money, so she lied about her situation to get the loan. That's what Georgia law calls theft by deception.
Right. Feeling deceived, Stephen first tried to get his money back through civil means. When that didn't work, he called the Bibb County Sheriff's Office to ask about his options for reporting fraud or getting a warrant.
And this is where it gets interesting. Stephen called the non-emergency dispatch line, clearly identifying himself as a complainant. He wasn't suspected of any crime. He was just seeking advice on a civil matter.
The call was logged as a forgery or fraud report with medium priority. But then, within minutes, the dispatcher handling the call, Markevius Bernardric Johnson, ran an NCIC query on Stephen.
For anyone who might not know, NCIC stands for National Crime Information Center. It's a federal database law enforcement uses to check criminal records, warrants, stolen property, and so on. Access to it is tightly controlled.
Exactly. The FBI's Criminal Justice Information Services, or CJIS, security policy specifically prohibits running NCIC checks without a documented criminal justice purpose. That means you can't just look someone up unless there's a real investigation or suspicion.
But in this case, Stephen was never a suspect. The call wasn't an investigation. So the NCIC check was unauthorized, invasive, and maybe even retaliatory.
That's a serious breach. Unauthorized access to criminal databases can lead to criminal penalties under Georgia law, including the Computer Systems Protection Act. Misuse can mean prison time and fines.
And what makes this worse is that Johnson isn't some rookie. He's got a long history in law enforcement. Police sergeant, chief marshal, 911 communications officer, all roles that come with training on these exact policies.
So either he misused his authority or acted out of retaliation. Stephen's complaint asks for a formal response, an internal audit, referral to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation or the GCIC Audit Division, and disciplinary action including revoking Johnson's access to the system while the investigation is ongoing.
The official call log shows Johnson told Stephen this was a civil issue and advised him to pursue it through magistrate courts. Yet the NCIC query still happened. That's contradictory and troubling.
It's important here to clarify the difference between civil and criminal matters. Civil cases involve disputes between individuals, like contracts or loans, and are handled in civil courts. Criminal cases involve violations prosecuted by the state.
Fraud can be criminal, but in this case, the sheriff's office treated it as a civil matter. Stephen was the victim and complainant, not a suspect. So running a criminal database check on him makes no sense.
Looking at the timeline, the call was created on March 23, 2025, just after 10:40 in the morning. The NCIC query was made around 11:07, just minutes after the call started. The call was cleared at 11:19 after Johnson completed the report.
And the incident was marked as not in progress, meaning no active investigation was underway. So again, no reason for that NCIC check.
Now, about Johnson's background. He's 31 years old with an associate degree in criminal justice. His career includes several law enforcement roles, so he should be well aware of CJIS policies.
Interestingly, he has some financial liens and civil judgments on record, but no criminal or traffic records. That doesn't excuse the violation, but it adds context to the complaint.
This case really highlights the importance of respecting privacy and legal limits when accessing law enforcement databases. Misuse of these systems can harm innocent people and erode public trust.
Absolutely. It also shows why oversight and accountability in police departments are crucial. These tools are powerful and must be used responsibly.
For our listeners, it's a reminder that even official systems have rules, and those rules matter. They protect people from unwarranted intrusion.
To wrap up, Stephen Faircloth was a victim of fraud who sought help but instead was treated like a suspect without cause. His complaint calls for accountability and proper use of sensitive law enforcement tools.
It's a story about balancing public safety and individual privacy, and how transparency and oversight are key to maintaining trust in law enforcement.